Hello everyone, welcome back to another Taekook one shot. Please enjoy this. The jeon mansion was glowing that evening. Crystal lights shimmered above long dining tables. Soft music filled the air, and laughter echoed through the halls. Family members, distant relatives, and trusted allies had gathered for a grand family dinner. It was one of those rare nights when the cold Jeon household pretended to be warm, and at the corner of everyone's attention, Jeon, Jungkook, and Kim Taehyung, they looked so in love. Someone whispered, "Always so calm with each other." Another replied, "A perfect couple." An aunt smiled. Taehyung stood beside Jungkook, hands neatly folded in front of him, lips curved into a gentle smile. He wore a soft pastel handbook, simple yet elegant. His eyes followed Jungkook unconsciously, as if trained to do so. Jungkook stood tall and intimidating in black, his soft jaw tight, his expression unreadable. The cold mafia boss of Jeon Empire, a man feared by many, a husband loved by everyone except the one person who should have mattered the most. Before the dinner, the bedroom was quiet with unspoken words. Taehyung stood near the window, fingers clenched the curtains as he seated at a dark sky outside. Jungkook sat on the edge of the bed, adjusting his cufflinks, preparing for the dinner downstairs. The silence stretched too long. Taehyung finally spoke. "Taehyung, you don't have to pretend with me, not when you are alone." Jungkook didn't look up. Jungkook pretend about what? Taehyung told Taehyung that everything is fine. Jungkook's jaw tightened. Taehyung took a step closer. "Taehyung, did I do something wrong again?" That question, soft, careful, afraid, made Jungkook's presence snap. Jungkook stood up abruptly. "Jungkook, don't start, Taehyung." Taehyung flinched but didn't back away. "Taehyung, I just want to understand. You ignored me for days. You wouldn't even look at me sometimes." Jungkook understanding wouldn't change anything. Taehyung's voice trembled. "Taehyung, I'm your husband." The word hit Jungkook like a bitter truth he never wanted. Jungkook laughed dryly. "Jungkook, a husband I was forced to marry?" Taehyung froze. The room felt colder. "Taehyung, I never asked for this marriage either." Jungkook's eyes finally met his, sharp, dark, full of restrained anger. "Jungkook, but your father did." Silence. Taehyung's hand dropped to his sides. "Taehyung, I'm not your I'm not my father." Jungkook turned away. "Jungkook, enough. We are going downstairs," Taehyung whispered. "Taehyung, you hate me, don't you?" Jungkook didn't answer. He walked out first. That silence was louder than any insult. The dinner table, the long dining table, was already full when they arrived. Seats were arranged carefully, names placed neatly. Taehyung glanced at the seat beside Jungkook. Empty. Before he could sit, Jungkook walked past him straight to another seat beside Soha. Taehyung stopped walking. Soha looked up, surprised. "Soha, Jungkook." "Sit, it's fine." "I thought." Jungkook, "Sit, it's fine." His voice was calm, controlled. He stood there, alone, unsure. An aunt clenched. "Aunt, oh my, is there a lover's quarrel?" Another laughter. "Uncle, every perfect couple's fight." Someone teased louder. "Cousin." Jungkook and Soha look good together though. Childhood friends always understand each other best. Taehyung felt every word like a needle. He slowly walked to his seat, 2 chairs away from Jungkook alone. He sat down quietly. Taehyung forced a smile. He always did. Soha glanced at him, worry flickered in her eyes. Soha leaned slightly towards Jungkook. Soha low voice, "You shouldn't." Jungkook, "Not now." The teasing continued. "Relative Taehyung, don't be upset. Jungkook loves you too much to stay mad." Another added, "Relative, you are so lucky. A husband who is loyal, handsome, powerful." Taehyung nodded politely. Taehyung, "Yes, I am lucky." His hands trembled under the table across from him. Jungkook laughed lightly at something Soha said. That sound, it hurt more than anger because Jungkook never laughed like that with him. Perfect couple dinner went on. Plates were served, conversations overlapped, wine glasses clenched him barely tasted his food. Every time someone praised Jungkook and Soha's bond, every joke about their chemistry, every smell they shared, it craved something deep inside him, something said loudly. Relatives so understand Jungkook so well. No wonder they look comfortable together. Taehyung lowered his lips moved silently. Taehyung whispered, "He understands my status." So I understood her place. A friend. Taehyung's place was more complicated. A reminder, a burden. The son of a traitor. Back at the mansion, the ride home was silent. Taehyung sat beside Jungkook in the car. Hands folded neatly again, eyes fixed on the window. Jungkook didn't look at him once. When they reached home, Taehyung stepped out quietly. He didn't go to their bedroom. Instead, he walked towards the old store room near the back corridor, a small forgotten space filled with unused. He closed the door behind him, locked it, then slid down to the floor. The darkness wrapped around him. Taehyung hugged his knees to his chest. His chest felt tight, his breathing shallow. Taehyung, it's okay, but it wasn't. Images replayed in his mind. Jungkook choosing another seat, laughter, perfect couple. Taehyung pressed his fist against his mouth to stop the sound that wanted to escape. He didn't cry loudly. He never did. Realization. Time passes, minutes, an hour. Jungkook changed his clothes. He noticed the silence. Too quiet. Jungkook frowned. Jungkook Taehyung. No answer. He walked to the bedroom empty. His chest tightened slightly. Jungkook searched the house. Then he noticed the storeroom light under the door locked. Jungkook's hands hovered near the handle. Jungkook Taehyung opened the door. Silence. For the first time that night, guilt crept in, a slow, uncomfortable feeling. Jungkook leaned in, his forehead against the door. Jungkook softly, "I didn't mean to humiliate you." Inside, Taehyung closed his eyes. He said nothing, and for the first time in their marriage, Jungkook realized something dangerous. His silence had caused pain, and that pain was sitting alone in the dark. The door remained locked. Jungkook stood outside the storeroom for a long time, his forehead resting against the cold wood. The mansion, usually alive with footsteps and voices, felt empty, too empty. Jungkook knocked again, slower this time. Jungkook Taehyung opened the door. No response. His chest tightened in a way he didn't recognize. This wasn't anger. It wasn't hurted. It was fear. Jungkook straightened and tried the handle again. Harder. Jungkook Taehyung, don't do this. Still nothing. Something inside Jungkook snapped. He stepped back, kicked the door hard. The lock cracked with a loud sound and the door swung open. The light split inside and there Taehyung was sitting on the floor, back against the dusty shelf, knees pulled close to his chest. His eyes were red, unfocused, his face pale. He looked small, wrinkled, nothing like the man everyone thought was living a perfect married life. Jungkook rose. For the first time, he saw the damage clearly. Jungkook, what are you sitting here? Taehyung slowly lifted his gaze. Taehyung, I didn't want to disturb anyone. Those words cut deeper than any accusation. Jungkook stepped inside and closed the door gently behind him. Jungkook, you locked yourself in. Taehyung nodded slightly. Taehyung, I needed quiet. Jungkook crouched in front of him. Jungkook, you could have stayed in the room. Taehyung looked away. Taehyung, that room doesn't feel like mine. Silence filled the small space. Jungkook told Jungkook about earlier at dinner. Taehyung spoke before he could continue. Taehyung, you don't need to explain. Jungkook frowned. Jungkook, I do. Taehyung shook his head and gently. Taehyung, I understand. Jungkook brows knotted together. Jungkook, understand what? Taehyung smiled faintly, sadly. Taehyung, why you sat beside Soha? Why you don't like sitting with me? Why you keep distance? Jungkook felt something heavy pressed against his chest. Taehyung continued, voice calm. Taehyung, she understands you. She has a clean past. No strings attached to her name. Jungkook clenched his face. Taehyung, I'm just convenient. That word echoes in Jungkook's head. Convenient. Jungkook stood up suddenly. Jungkook, that's not true. Taehyung looked at him quietly. Taehyung, then what is true? Jungkook opened his mouth. Nothing came out. Because the truth was ugly, because the truth had his father's blood in it. Jungkook slowly sat down on the floor in front of Taehyung, not above him, not as a boss, not as a man. Jungkook, I shouldn't have left you alone. Taehyung blinked, surprised. Jungkook, I shouldn't have sat somewhere else. Taehyung lowered his gaze. Taehyung, it's fine. Jungkook shook his head. Jungkook, no, it's not. The words felt unfamiliar on his tongue. Jungkook, I'm sorry. He looked up softly. The single word hit him harder than cruelty ever did. Taehyung, you don't have to say that. Jungkook, I want to. Taehyung studied Jungkook's face as if searching for mockery. There was none. Taehyung's lips trembled. Taehyung, okay. That was all he said, okay. No demands, no expectations, not unshadow. And somehow that hurts Jungkook more. Flashback Jungkook that night. Jungkook couldn't sleep. Taehyung lay beside him, facing away. Breathing slowly, Jungkook stared at the ceiling. His mind drifted back. A younger Jungkook stood behind a half-open door. His father's voice echoed. Mr. Jeon, you promised loyalty. Another man laughed. Mr. Kim, business is business. Blood. Jungkook remembered his father collapsing as white shocked. Jungkook screaming, remembered hatred burning into his bones. Mr. Kim's face was carved into his memory, and Taehyung carried that face in his blood. Jungkook clenched his eyes. Sir, Jungkook whispered, I swear I would never forgive. He turned slightly. Taehyung shifted in his sleep, murmuring softly, Taehyung, I'm sorry. Even in dreams, Taehyung obliged. Jungkook felt sick. Flashback Taehyung woke up early. He slipped out of the bed quietly and went to the kitchen. As he waited for the water to boil, memories crept in. A large house, cold walls, a man who never smiled. Mr. Kim, don't touch that. Young Taehyung flinched. Mr. Kim, don't speak unless spoken to. No hugs, no prizes. The silence and fear. Later, servants whispered, treat us soon. Taehyung learned earlier. His name came with shame. Marriage to Jungkook hasn't changed that. It only gave the same a new home. Small changes. Jungkook started noticing things he noticed things slowly. Always waited until everyone else finished eating. He noticed Taehyung flinched when voices got loud. He noticed Taehyung never entered Jungkook's study unless called. One morning, Taehyung placed breakfast on the table and stepped back. Jungkook said, Taehyung paused. Taehyung, I already ate. A lie. Jungkook knew it. Jungkook said with me. Taehyung hesitated, then obeyed. Then ate in silence, but the silence felt different, less sharp. Soha, later that day, Soha visited. Soha, how are you? Taehyung bowed slightly. Taehyung, I'm fine. Soha glanced at Jungkook. Soha, can I talk to you? Jungkook nodded and followed her outside. Soha crossed her arms. Soha, you hurt him. Jungkook sniffed. Jungkook, I didn't cheat. Soha sighed. Soha, pain doesn't only come from cheating. She looked at him seriously. Soha, he prizes me because he thinks I deserve more. Those words stunned Jungkook. Soha, that kind of thinking destroyed people. Soha, he loves you quietly. Jungkook's throat tightened. Cracks in the wall. That night, Jungkook found Taehyung sitting on the balcony. Jungkook, it's cold. Taehyung, I like the cold. Jungkook wrapped his coat over Taehyung's shoulder. Taehyung froze. Taehyung, you don't have to. Jungkook stayed. Taehyung stayed. Jungkook beside him. Their shoulders touched, just barely. Taehyung's breathing changed. Jungkook didn't move away. Jungkook, you're not your father. Taehyung's eyes widened. Taehyung, you didn't need to say that. Jungkook, I do. Taehyung's voice broke. Taehyung, I have been hearing the same name my whole life. I don't know who I am without it. Jungkook turned to him. Jungkook, you are Kim Taehyung. Taehyung's eyes filled. No one had ever said his name like that. A storm rolled in that night. Taehyung jolted awake, breathing fast. Jungkook sat up instantly. Jungkook, hey! Taehyung hugged himself. Taehyung, it's nothing. Jungkook hesitated, then gently placed a hand over Taehyung's. Taehyung stiffened. Jungkook, I wouldn't hurt you. Taehyung slowly relaxed. Jungkook pulled him closer, careful, uncertain. Taehyung rested his forehead against Jungkook's chest. It wasn't desire, it was comfort. Jungkook's hand stayed there, warm, protective. Jungkook realized something terrifying. He didn't want to let go. Morning light crept into the room. Taehyung's lap crawled against Jungkook. Jungkook watched him. For the first time, Taehyung didn't look like a reminder of betrayal. He looked like the man who had been alone for too long. Jungkook whispered, Jungkook, I am trying. Taehyung stirred, murmuring softly. Taehyung, thank you. Jungkook closed his eyes. Guilt had his name now, and it was Kim Taehyung. The jeon mansion had already been dangerous. Enemies didn't need invitations. They waited, they watched, they planned. Jungkook knew this better than anyone. This was why he never wanted Taehyung close to his world, and yet Taehyung was already standing at its center. The family noticed first. Aunt Jungkook, you have been coming home earlier. Uncle, you sit beside Taehyung everywhere now. Cousins teasing, so the cold boss finally melted. Jungkook didn't deny it. Taehyung sat quietly beside him. His folded eyes lowered, but Jungkook noticed something others didn't. Taehyung wasn't flinching anymore, not when Jungkook touched his arms. Not when Jungkook spoke his name, not when Jungkook stood close. That scared Jungkook because comfort meant attachment and attachment meant weakness. Soha came to visit again, bringing desserts. She handed a plate to Taehyung. Soha, you look better. Taehyung smiled softly. Taehyung, I feel lighter. Jungkook watched them from across the room. Later, Soha pulled Jungkook aside. Soha, you are changing. Jungkook, I don't know if it's enough. Soha looked at him seriously. Soha, he doesn't need perfection, he needs choice. Jungkook frowned. Soha, right now he is still something you were forced to accept. Those words hit harder than a bullet. Soha, choose him out loud or let him go. Jungkook stayed silent. The call came at night, unknown number. You should have the traitor's bloodline when you had the chance. Jungkook's blood ran cold. Jungkook, where is he? After call ended, Jungkook stormed out of the room. Taehyung looked up, startled. Taehyung, Jungkook. Jungkook didn't answer. Fear wrapped around Taehyung's chest. Something was wrong. Taehyung didn't even hear them coming. A sharp sting. Darkness. When he woke up, his wrists were his head pounding. A familiar voice spoke. And me, Kim Taehyung, the perfect bet. Taehyung swelled hard. Taehyung, if you want money, and me laughed. And me, we want jeon. Jungkook broke in. Taehyung closed his eyes for the first time. He wasn't afraid of himself. He was afraid Jungkook wouldn't come. The location arrived. Jungkook stood, surrounded by the men. Eyes burning. Jungkook, prepare everything. Assistant, boss, it's a trap. Jungkook, I know. Assistant, then Jungkook slammed his fist into the table. Jungkook, that's my husband. Silence fell. He went alone. Echoes through the warehouse. Jungkook moved like a storm. When he saw Taehyung to a chair, bruised, shaking, something inside him shuddered. Jungkook without mercy. When he was over, he rushed to Taehyung. Jungkook, Taehyung. Taehyung looked up, tears spilling. Taehyung, you came? Jungkook pulled the with trembling hands and pulled Taehyung into his arms. Jungkook, I will always come. Taehyung clutched Jungkook's coat, sobbing silently. For the first time, Jungkook let him cry. Jungkook treated Taehyung's wounds himself, careful, gentle. Taehyung watched him quietly. Taehyung, why did you risk everything? Jungkook's hand paused. Jungkook, because losing you terrified me. Taehyung's breath hindered. Jungkook put the medicine aside, then he knelt right there. Taehyung froze. Taehyung, Jungkook. Jungkook's voice broke. Jungkook, I hated your father. I let that hated poison you. Tears filled his eyes. Jungkook, I punished you for a crime you never committed. He bowed his head. Jungkook, I'm sorry. Hard, raw, honest Jungkook, I'm sorry for ignoring you, for humiliating you, for making you feel replaceable. Taehyung's hands shook. Taehyung, you didn't need to. Jungkook looked up. Jungkook, I love you. Those words felt like a confession and surrender. Taehyung broke. He fell to his knees too, holding Jungkook's face. Taehyung, I waited so long to hear that. They cried together. Flashback. Jungkook wanted revenge from Mr. Kim for his father's death. Jungkook killed him and Taehyung was left alone. While Mr. Kim was taking his last breath, he asked Jungkook to marry Taehyung and took care of him. Mr. Kim was feeling guilty for what Mr. Kim had done to Tae. Mr. Kim knew Jungkook was not a bad guy. He will not hurt Taehyung. Choosing each other that night, Jungkook held Taehyung like he was precious. Touches were slow, careful, lips met softly, hesitant at first, then sure. Every touch said, you are wanted. Bloomed on Taehyung's skin, not worshipped, but reassurance. Taehyung whispered Jungkook's name like a prayer. Jungkook answered with devotion. Morning sunlight split through the bed. Taehyung slept peacefully, tangled in Jungkook's arms. Jungkook pressed her to Taehyung's forehead. Jungkook, I choose you every day. Taehyung smiled in his sleep. For the first time, the marriage wasn't a lie, it was love. And hope you enjoyed the story. I will be back again as always. See you. Bye bye. Yeah, I'm feeling like drained, but hoping for the best. See you again. Bye bye.